Nice. We are live. What's up, guys? I am streaming live. I see myself on Periscope, Mixer, dlive.tv/The Hake Report, and youtube.com/The Hake Report. And I'm trying to connect to Twitch. We'll see. Maybe it'll connect itself. But it is Thursday. Nice. Thursday.
We are live.
Oh, what's up, guys? I am... Calm down. Don't worry. That was just, that was Joel. Black Tech. But it has stopped, and everything should be working. No echo. No echo. No buffering. I see Chat H says buffering, buffering, buffering. He just says buffering, buffering. Not sure. Not sure. Shout out to Shake Ninja 420X in the mixer for auto-hosting me. Appreciate that. And what's up, Uncle Ted 8 and Trevor, Wesley, Bubs Love, Victoria, yes. And Skip, I saw some of your questions. I will be addressing them and your comments. Appreciate that. He was in there early in the live chat. So, Chat H, is it done buffering for you? Okay, appreciate that. All right, guys, it is Sunday. I said Thursday. So loopy, right? I'm a little disorganized, but I'm here and you're here. Let's have some fun. It is 5 minutes till the top of the hour, so we're just going to chit-chat a little bit. Like I said, it is Sunday, but I didn't tell you the date. It is April 26th, 2020, and it is a special day. I'll tell you all about it at the beginning of the hour because I don't want to give away that part. But since I saw Skip from Augusta, Georgia, you know the snake? He's a good guy, though. Nice snake, right? He had some questions and comments. He said, hey, Hake, what's your thoughts on State Representative Karen Whitsett, Democrat from Detroit, whom I had not heard of until Skip mentioned her, and Democrat Vernon Jones from Georgia, whom I had heard of thanks to a guy on Twitter who kept on tagging me about this person. I think his name was Political Lion on Twitter, or Lion Political on Twitter. Well, I looked up this Karen Whitsett, and I do have pictures of her. We don't normally show a lot of the pictures before the show starts, because I don't like to get started for the people who tune in at 9 Pacific time, my time. But here's some pictures of this Karen Whitsett and some headlines. National Review: Detroit Democrats to censure. We're trying to get back here. What's up, guys? I see I'm on Periscope and YouTube. What's going on? Studio 3 crash? Yeah. Okay. But I am streaming again. What's up, guys? Sorry about that. What a mess. The stream should be back. I should be back on Mixer, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, DLive. Sorry, guys. I was just telling you about this lady, pretty lady, whose picture I'm showing you, right? Black lady. Democrat. But she's thanking Trump. So I guess we can't use Studio 3. We just go no Studio 3, I guess?
I just won't go. I'll figure it out.
Okay. And Joel has it figured out. He has his black tech figured out. Nice. And I will get to your calls. Appreciate you guys calling in. It's 2 minutes till the top of the hour, and I haven't even started the show yet. But I'm showing you this picture of this lady. Actually, Joelle is, but that's all right. And this lady is, I thought that might be what you were trying to say. This lady her name is Karen Whitsett, Democrat from Detroit, state representative for Michigan, in the state of Michigan. And the Democrats are going to censure her. She's calling them out because I guess she caught this COVID-19 thing. This, I'll explain later, this Chinese Communist Party virus. Because that's what people are calling it. You know, truth lovers are telling that, right? Calling it that. And I guess she took this chloroquine, or whatever it's called, and she thanked Trump for touting it. And I guess she healed up. That's what I gather. I haven't really looked into it. But, you know, I'm fine with her. And then there's another Democrat, Vernon Jones, out of Georgia, who is switching from Democrat, and not that kind of switching. A man ain't got no business switching. He's switching from Democrat to Republican. This guy named Vernon Jones, and I guess he's I don't know what he is. Is he a U.S. representative or a state representative? My guess is a state representative. The U.S. representatives are sly. And so he's switching to Republican. That's fine with me. He said something to the effect of, under Trump, before this crisis, this coronavirus thing, black unemployment was really low. And so for that reason, and there's other things that, he funded historically black colleges, which I kind of wish he wouldn't. President Trump did. But this man appreciates that. He graduated from a historically black college. I don't have a picture of this man. His name is Vernon Jones. But a couple of Democrats are going a little bit, not anti-Trump or pro-Trump in this guy's case. That's cool. If you're just tuning in, it's 9 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. I've already started this stream 5 minutes early, a little bit more than 5 minutes early, and then it already went down, and then we're already back up again, and Joel has it handled. All right, guys? And I will be getting to your calls, and appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, all you guys. It's Sunday, April 26th, 2020. I forget whether I mentioned that on this side of the messed up part of the stream. It is. So, with that, get ready for a show. Let's do it. That means go. Are you able to do it? Oh, nice.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
What's up, guys? I am James Hake. We're going to be talking about happy birthday to the First Lady. It's also another type of day today, which I don't really... And we are streaming. Last Sunday, we couldn't stream. This Sunday, we had issues, but we ironed them out, and we should not experience any issues. So, what's that mean?
What?
I would avoid...
Oh, if you asked me for pics on Studio 5,
Oh,
I would,
avoid even showing them.
no, grabbing them from YouTube, Google, and putting them on.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So, by the way, guys, and I am going to get to your calls. Appreciate that. I have more people who want to continue the conversation. I had to cut off Asmodor at the end of the Friday. And I have other people wanted to talk about, shouldn't fully automatic be legal? And Mark, who is a gun expert, said no, it's not needed. And maybe we should have certain things that would help with this thing. And then Asmodor was on the other side he was on more the side of freedom and the Constitution, and saying that this felony thing, even felonies, people who have felonies, it's not even constitutional to take away their guns. Interesting. I think that the justice system has become an injustice system. And so people are getting out of prison who shouldn't. People are not getting the death penalty who should. And so it's kind of dangerous to give present-day felons who are on the loose guns, I think. Plus, I don't know. But it's interesting. He makes an interesting point. And there's a lot of felons who are decent people now, right? Anyways, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson today is online only, guys, just so you know. Per the president's request, Trump, that is. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. Subscribe to Bond YouTube channel on youtube.com/bondinfo. It works. And the Bond page, like the Bond page on Facebook.com/rebuildingtheman. It's a nice page. and we premiere on both of those places. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson's social media guy. We premiere old Sunday services from 2009, and they're nice. They're great. You sometimes even hear me from 11 years ago. Follow/subscribe to Jesse Lee Peterson on dlive.tv/Jesse Lee Peterson, and shout out to my DLive audience. I am streaming on dlive.tv/The Hake Report. So, I heard that it's. Are you able to Google Melania Trump, or should I just avoid pictures? Avoid pictures? Okay. It's Melania Trump's birthday. Picture her. All right? She's pretty. I heard she's 50. That's the first lady. 50 years old. Right on, Melania. Looking good at 50. That's cool. Congratulations to you and President Trump. Make a great couple. Although he's like way older than her. But hey, what's done is done. They have a son together. Got to stick together now. Oh, interesting. May try that, huh? Cool. Clever. Haters are saying classless things about Melania, just as they do about Trump. You'll notice, right? The haters, the ones who are like fake Christians, or all of a sudden they pretend to be like somewhat conservative, even though they're liberals. They repeat like the nasty things that Trump has said over time behind closed doors. Remember the grab him by the P word when Trump said that. And I'm repeating it, but Trump hasn't even repeated that since that time. He said that behind closed doors, and it wasn't even supposed to get out. It was just somebody recorded it. It was a hot mic. He was mic'd up for this Access Hollywood interview, but he wasn't doing that. He wasn't talking that way in public. He was talking that way in private, and it was just having fun among guys. But they want to be classless and repeat that thing that he said as though he's still saying it, or as though it says something about him that's bad. No. And then now they, haters call into Jesse Lee Peterson's show, and I don't know if they've tried to do this with me, but they point out that Melania posed nude, naked, or semi-naked in the past. Well, that's not the case now. She's not doing that. And she's not hoochie mama dancing with Ellen. She's not even getting on magazine covers. Has she been on any magazine covers? I heard that she hasn't. I remember the old first lady, and I use the term lady loosely. I do think she's a female, unlike a lot of you guys. I'm referring to that black woman who hates America and whites and Trump, Michelle Obama. I remember her being on the cover of magazines, and Democrat friends of mine pointing her out. I'm not jealous, though. If you want to put her on the cover of a magazine, that's on you. But also, I am going to get to your calls. Appreciate them. Hang tight. Also, it's according to Twitter, it is hashtag. I hate to say this after. Oh, there's a picture of her. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Joelle. Coming through. Smart. It's also Lesbian Visibility Day. Hashtag Lesbian Visibility Day. Cover your ears, kids. This is in contrast to the First Lady, right? Who is a real lady, right? They're lesbians. Why do they need a visibility day? They're too visible. It's kind of a fat joke. I knew one lesbian. I've probably known a ton. Pretty easy to get to a ton with lesbians, right? I'm making fat jokes, but I don't know how they're coming off. But and I'll tell you why, right? Let me just side note about these fat jokes. Lesbians are known to get overweight more frequently statistically because they don't have to look pretty in front of their fellow lesbian, because the fellow lesbians are emotionally connected, not visually connected. Whereas the dudes, the gays, the homosexual males, they try to get all fit because they're visually attracted to the world rather than emotionally. That's the theory that I've heard. So, and plus gays tend to be on like crazy drugs and or like have like AIDS, and so they get skinny. Is that scientifically accurate? I don't know. But that's why a lot of lesbians are fat. But I knew one lesbian. I was friends with. I didn't know she was a lesbian, but she got mad and blocked me on Facebook. I think I started to gather that she was a lesbian for saying that you shouldn't be proud. Because I used to vent on Facebook, right? That was when I was losing a bunch of friends. I was like, why are people proud of themselves for supporting homosexuality? There's nothing to be proud of. You're supporting wrong, first of all. Even if you didn't think it was wrong, why would you be proud of yourself for supporting it? You wouldn't. You wouldn't be proud of yourself for supporting it. And so I wrote that. I wasn't thinking about her. She got mad and said something and blocked me. I mean, posted something on Facebook, like a comment on Facebook. I didn't really know she was a lesbian. She was from like Chicago area. My brother and I, anyways, my brother and I actually stayed at her house too. That was crazy because we were staying at her house in the living room, right? Nothing weird. But on our way to this Christian music festival, because she was like a Christian. So I didn't know that she was a lesbian. I just thought she was a little odd. But she said that she hung out with a bunch of dykes, and it still didn't really quite sink in. I'm a little slow. Slippery Moss NG says on Mixer, thank you for joining Mixer. Why do you think homosexuality is wrong? It just seems wrong. Think about it. It doesn't seem right for sure. It seems wrong. That's at root why I think it's wrong. Hopefully that explained it for you. So Skip was asking, if you're tuned in kind of late, Skip from Augusta, Georgia was asking me what I thought about this state representative Karen Whitsett. No L. Whitsett, Democrat from Detroit, and Democrat Vernon Jones from Georgia. Detroit, Michigan, right? And I'm fine with them. I don't trust people in general. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Because there's a whole lot of, most Republicans are rhinos, including black Republicans. And a lot of blacks have this trained from a young age to hate whites, and they don't realize it. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe they will really make a turnaround. I didn't really understand this man's, his reason for changing from Democrat to Republican. Yeah, Trump did help out, but I didn't really get a full understanding of why he changed from Democrat to Republican, even though it's true that Trump has been good for the blacks in terms of their unemployment, especially bringing down their unemployment. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, by the way, Skip was saying our governor here in Georgia has given most businesses and the churches the okay to go back to work, but most aren't taking him up on it. What a shame. And he goes on about how fear controls people. They don't want to rock the boat. They feel like, any excuse not to tell the truth or look into things for themselves and act on what they know is right because of peer pressure and all that stuff. He makes decent points. You're right, Skip. Thomas Porter on the YouTube live chat was saying, I've stopped working. I have not stopped working all this time. I've been cautious, as socially distant as usual, but life never stopped for some of us, and I'm thankful for it. Right on, man. That's cool. Same here. My life hasn't changed much. I don't really get out much, so my life hasn't changed much. The only thing is, like, I walked into the grocery store and the black security guard yelled at me to put on my bandana. He called it a scarf. Yeah. Jesse's producer, Nick, he suspects people are using this as an excuse not to work. And you know, I think that happens to a lot of people even when they get a little sick. They stay home and then they just get lazy. It happens to me. So I'm going to get to more of this COVID-19 mess. One of the most disgusting things is that Republicans are starting to support this so-called universal health care, which is not universal health care. It is insurance. And it's basically, the government is not to be trusted. And you can say that a lot of corporations are not to be trusted either. That's true. But you don't give the government a monopoly on your so-called health insurance. Much less the UN. The UN, by the way, I was listening to American Liberty with Bill Lockwood, and he pointed out that the UN, and I wasn't really aware of this, but I should have known it. Should have not been surprised anyways, that the UN, United Nations, World so-called Health Organization, WHO, wants universal health care, meaning they want to manage everybody getting so-called health care. One world government. Disgusting, huh? And these are the worst people in the world. So, I'll get to more of that stuff. But first, let me get to Greg out of Wilmington, Delaware. Well, Greg, what's up?
Hey, James, you're giving me so much to think about so quickly in 17 minutes.
I appreciate you holding, man.
If Lazarus were a Democrat and Jesus were a Republican, they would, and he then changed parties after he was raised from the dead, they would disown Lazarus.
Wow. Yeah.
Just a theory.
Yeah.
You had asked me or called out some people on the Second Amendment last Friday.
Yeah, I wanted to know the generation ahead of me's take.
Yes. So my take, and it's my take, probably not my generation's take.
All right.
But anyone should be able to own anything as long as they don't have a criminal record. And we've so stigmatized guns. I mean, you can buy dynamite. You can buy tons of dynamite. You can buy big machines that will, if you take a bulldozer or a semi-truck, you can do a tremendous amount of damage with that. So why
Right.
they pick on guns, I do know, but I say I don't know. I don't know why the average citizen is so freaked out by a gun. It's just another tool.
Right. Yeah.
And you should be able to own anything that's out there, because when the Second Amendment was written, the average citizen had weapons comparable to the armies. So I don't see why that's changed.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
And the Second
Did you hear
Amendment
Asmodor's call where he said that they made up this thing called felony, and after you get a felony and you get out of jail, in Texas they would give you a gun and a horse and a bunch of rounds and some cash. But now they've made it so that felons can't have guns. What do you think of that?
Amazing. Well, I will say, in defense of what was happening then, I think because a gun was part of a tool of how you lived, that's how you caught your game and, what you lived on.
Yeah.
I think it was, in lieu of cash, you just gave them a gun. So from that point of view, it was kind of a different time. So I understand that.
Yeah. He makes an interesting point. I had said months ago that if anything, the felons should are the main ones who need the guns because they still have enemies, once they get out of
right.
jail.
They live in that world, yeah. Good
right.
point.
And you would, not that I don't want people getting out of jail who don't belong out of jail. And I don't want people continuing to live who shouldn't be continuing to live. I think we need a tougher justice system. But because it's gone so soft, you have the type of felons out of jail whom you don't want carrying a gun, but they tend to get the guns anyways, don't they?
Yeah, well, in my state of Delaware, like
Yeah.
many other states, they're letting people out of jail
Exactly.
to avoid the COVID virus. But starting Monday, if you're caught outside without a mask, it's a $500 fine,
Wow.
which is ridiculous.
It
I mean,
is.
you could be out walking in the park, and I guess theoretically they could still fine you.
Yeah. You know, when I was talking to another person about this, another boomer about this whole question about the felons, and he said they know going into their crimes, that this is what the punishment is. It's been this punishment for quite some time, and so they have to pay the price, which whether the law is right or not, you knew going into it that you were going to lose rights such as this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So that's an interesting point too. So I don't know, but yeah, it's so crazy. If you're outside, you're breathing fresh air. If you're going into a store, I guess you should.
Well, the funny thing is, so I'm at the hospital right now. I'm at work, and I would say just walking around, at least a third of hospital employees are not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's even people in the industry, unless they have to be next to someone, they don't necessarily even wear masks walking around the hospital.
Are the hospitals
administrative job?
Are the hospitals slammed?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
in fact,
I didn't think
we're
so.
about as dead as we've been because all the elective surgery and all that sort of thing has gone away.
What a shame.
And from a psychological point of view, I would say there's more apprehension the day before a forecasted snowstorm than there is since the virus started.
Wow.
I mean,
Right.
obviously they're taking procedures and there's hassle because there's certain protocol, things you have to do.
Yeah.
But as far as people being nervous, like this is a life-threatening situation, I don't see it at all.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Greg. It's good to hear from you, man. Take care.
Okay, have a good one. See ya.
All right. You know, this speaking of masks, I just peek at the Drudge headlines, right? I know a lot of you are trying to tell me that Drudge is anti-Trump, and even Trump tweeted about that. Interesting, huh? Trump called him a nice guy, but I don't know if he advertised anything in its place, but I don't necessarily think that about Drudge, that he's turned on him. I just think that he's repeating the headlines that they're saying, so we know what they're saying. Because what they're saying, we have to address it. So I'm okay with it, whatever Drudge's headlines have been. Maybe I'm too slow to judge. But this Michigan senator, lawmaker, right, apologizes for wearing a Confederate flag mask. Why apologize? And this guy is like a boomer-looking guy. State Senator Dale Zorn, Z-O-R-N, Republican from, I don't know. What does that say? Idaho? I-D-A. Ida? Maybe that's a part of Michigan. You Michigan people, let me know. No! He tweeted it out. So this guy, yeah, and it's, well, I mean, I don't have pictures. You Googled it. Nice. Yeah. I mean, you have pictures of the guy. Joel has pictures of the guy. Appreciate that. But I'm looking at this picture, and it's just basically, one of those face masks. Oh, there it is, that second one. Click on that second one if you're able to, Joel, to make it big. Yeah. That's a picture. Man, Joel's on it. So he tweeted, he got a backlash, right? This is America. I thought this was America. I'm sorry. Dale W. Zorn tweeted, I'm sorry for my choice of pattern on the face mask I wore yesterday on the Senate floor. Nice, he wore it on the Senate floor. I did not intend to offend anyone. However, I realized that I did, and for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you guys are so stupid for being offended. That's what he should be saying. Those who know me best know that I do not support the things this pattern represents. What an evil guy. By evil, I mean weak and lying. It represents good. It represents the South. It represents America. And it represents freedom and states' rights and all those cool things. Aswador gave an Njigini and says, all the other state representatives should apologize for not wearing a Confederate flag mask. I agree. We need to bring back the Confederate flag. We should impeach or whatever we can do, censor that Nikki Haley woman who was governor of South Carolina or North Carolina, the state in which Dylan Roof shot up the black church. That after that took place, this dumb liberal guy, Ta-Nehisi Coates, wrote, get rid of the Confederate battle flag, right? Something like that. And they followed this dumb reasoning from these stupid liberals. They shouldn't bow to that at all. Anyways, so that's another obnoxious thing. Weak, white, male. And he looks like a respectable guy. Older, a little fat, but not a lesbian. But that's a shame. It's just obnoxious. It's wrong. It doesn't represent anything bad, the Confederate battle flag. It reminds me of how, like, it's not like this, but you know how the N-word became a bad word. Before, it wasn't really a bad word in the olden days. It was just the N-word. And then now the B word. You guys may have heard Jesse Lee Peterson say the B word. And I think feminism made the B word into a bad word. Before, it wasn't really a bad word. That's what my suspicion is. And so it's so evil how we're allowing the evil people to change the culture to make things not to make things that are fine not be fine. Stupid. And a couple more headlines before I get back to calls. Hawaii to visitors, is from Drudge. We'll pay you to leave. I guess Hawaii is a bunch of liberals and they're scared of the virus. They're scared of people. Supposedly there's a spike in ingesting cleaners following Trump's comments. Oh, come on, right? I think media hyped this idea of ingesting cleaners. Trump said something, and I didn't even hear what he said, and I'm not that interested in it. I feel that this is just another thing that's going to blow over, which it already is, right? The sane people know that supposedly, just so you guys know, Trump said something to the effect of inject, what was that called? Disinfectants to clean yourself, right? Clean your body. And Joel says Lysol, but I don't think he mentioned Lysol. I think that's what the media claimed.
That's what the people are saying, yeah. And
yeah,
then you see the clip.
Bleach.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
He didn't even mention it, right? So he's not meaning what they think. They put meaning that isn't there. They've frequently put words in his mouth. When he said Mexico's not sending their best, they're rapists. They claim that he meant all, which is completely them being ridiculous, right? Same thing with this. That's how I feel about it. But people are ingesting cleaners, supposedly. There's this spike. It's funny. To me, it's funny. And World Health Organization, by the way, this is like an ongoing question in my mind. There's no evidence that recovering from this coronavirus gives you immunity from this. I got to tell you about this. This Chinese Communist Party virus gives you immunity. So they're saying you can get it twice. They seem to be implying that it may be possible that you may get it twice. Even if you got it, doesn't mean you're immune to it now. That's what they're saying. But World Health Organization is not to be trusted. They're not. They're the UN. They are run by this guy, Dr. Tedros, who's a basic. I think he's either basically a communist or he is a communist. And he's like is he Ethiopian or is he one of those other things? But not the Christian kind of Ethiopian. I know that there's some Ethiopian Christians. He's not. Frustrated parents giving up on homeschool. No patience, right? Parents, man. Parents are weak nowadays. I saw this headline and this Drudge picture, Beach Day. That was heartwarming because going to the beach, you're not going to get sick at the beach, except for maybe sunstroke for white people who get too much sun. But the beach, I would think, is better for people's health. But they're not exactly social distancing. I mean, I know that the water is dirtier than ever, right? So you could get sick from that. But interesting. I don't know where that was. That's nice. I guess I could click into it from the sun. A lot of people. Oh my gosh, it's been hot, by the way. The Sun reports heat wave spurs thousands of Californians to ignore the coronavirus distancing and hit the beach despite the governor's pleas. And thank God for that. It was hot. It was uncomfortably warm. When I say hot, I just mean uncomfortably warm. For me, Friday night and last night. And it spurs people with allergies to lose their minds. Yeah, the weather's changing fast. More pollen in the air, probably. But Gavin Newsom with the beta baby is pleading for people to stay home. What a mess. But, so that's a good thing. I like people getting outside and going to the beach. They can't arrest us all, right? Right on. So I'm glad for that. So let me just briefly explain this Chinese Communist Party virus. The Chinese Communist Party, we're trying to protect them, their image, their false image of that they know what's up. And so they suppressed information getting out about how bad this virus supposedly was and is, which I believe it's pretty bad. And they welded people into their apartment buildings and stuff like welded doors shut. What I mean, and that's according to the media. And they've been just generally evil, and they want it to be called, according to Epoch Times. Oh, can you show it? I've dragged in a couple more pictures into the folder. Pronunciation. I thought it was Epoch Times. And if you're British, you would pronounce it Epoch Times. But Americans pronounce it Epoch Times. I didn't know that. But Epoch Times is encouraged. It's a sort of conservative outlet, at least anti-Chinese communist outlet. I think it was founded by Chinese people, I think here in America. This Epoch Times, E-P-O-C-H Times. But if you see the pronunciation things, yeah. Epoch is how the American pronunciation is. Epoch. E-H-P-U-H-K. Epoch. But it's epoch for the Brits. And I was pronouncing it the British way this whole time. Man, they still got control over me, right? And, but the Chinese Communist Party basically like inflicted this on its own people by suppressing how bad it was when there were doctors that were Chinese doctors who were sounding the alarm about this is a bad thing, and Chinese citizen journalists going on social media showing, people laying in the street and stuff like that. I guess it was hitting these people hard, kind of like how SARS did, only worse, apparently. And then it got out into the whole rest of the world, and Trump closed travel, but apparently not soon enough. And actually, there was this a little bit overweight lady who was supposedly the first known victim to succumb to this virus thing after she had seemed to be healing up. Crazy. That was that 57-year-old woman whom I showed you last week. So, but this crisis is being exploited to promote universal health care, which is socialism, which I know some of you guys are like, you're like, socialism is okay if it's nationalistic, meaning you take care of your people. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. It is theft. That's what I think. Call me a boomer, but that's why I would like to see a nationalist, socialist type to go up against Bill Lockwood. Wouldn't that be cool? Bill is up for it. I just have to get our tech stuff ironed out. Let me get to Christine out of New Jersey. Christine, what's up? Thanks for holding.
Hey, oh, no problem. Hey, I had a question, but I wanted to touch on the homosexuality thing.
Yeah.
Why it's wrong.
Okay.
Just very, very, very quickly.
Stay close to your phone.
I am.
Okay.
Anna?
You were kind of coming in and out.
Oh, okay. If you're not procreating, then you're not helping humanity. So then homosexuality doesn't seem right. That's it.
Interesting. Interesting point.
Anyway.
True.
All right. So I just wanted to know, you've been using the word friends and buddies and stuff like that often.
Yeah.
What is a friend or a buddy to you?
So a friend is somebody who's like always, for example, I think I've most recently referred to Skip as a friend, right? I think.
Yes.
And
even though you call him a snake.
A snake, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, most of your friends are snakes, right? I think most people are only with you so far. They're not true. So I use the term loosely, right? I don't mean true friend. I mean friends. We're friendly. We're friendly.
Then why not use acquaintance?
No, because we're friendly.
In what way is that different?
Because acquaintance doesn't necessarily mean that we're friendly. Does that make sense?
Huh?
I know that if you want to be a word Nazi, then you could say, oh, strictly speaking, I have no friends, right? Strictly speaking, I may have like one friend. Or maybe two. But I like to use that word loosely. Because it's it's the friendly thing to do, right? Or is it the beta thing to do? I don't know.
Yeah. That was all.
I appreciate the question,
Right.
Christine. Nice to hear from you. Take care.
You too.
All right. Let me get to Jacob, first-time caller out of New York City. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Thanks for holding, man. Hey.
I'd like to touch up on the coronavirus.
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, the Health World Organization has, like, made something completely different from what the coronavirus is. In my perspective, I think if God wants you to get the coronavirus, he'll give you the coronavirus.
You know what? I think I saw were you in Mixer?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that comment. Makes sense. Makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are steps that you can take because God gave you common sense to follow common sense to protect yourself, right? He gave you awareness to be aware and alert and be able to protect yourself from getting diseases and not have unhealthy habits. But I think you're right that at that point you just have to not worry. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. Nice point, man. Do you mind my asking how old you are?
I'm 26.
Nice. Dang. Do you mind my asking why your voice sounds like a kid?
Trust me, I've been screaming a lot at the TV.
You've been screaming a lot at the TV. All right. That doesn't really explain it in my mind, but I appreciate it, man. That's cool. How'd you find my show?
Mixer.
Nice. Right on. Do you know? Are you familiar with Shake Ninja something something?
No.
Okay. That's cool. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate hearing from you.
All right, bye.
Take care. I'm going to get to the rest of the callers. Hang tight, guys. Let me read a few super chats. Jib Jab gave the black cat. Thank you, Jib Jab. And he's on set as well. Lin Yen Chin says, YouTube throttling the life out of your stream. And he gave that at 9:10, 10 minutes after. How has the stream been, guys? Has the stream been all right? I don't know. He says, Lin Yen Chin says, liberate the white right, the bright light, a cultured coherence, the homogeneous state of concentration. Progress is consolidation of a like type or ilk. So more white baby engineers equals more life quality. Did you follow that? It's sort of an echo. Is there an echo right now? Yeah, somebody said I sound like a robot. There's an echo on D Live. Have I had this whole time? Have I been echoing this whole time, guys? Because now I'm seeing audio is off. No echo, echo, echo. How about now? Brown cow. How am I hearing? Darth Vader voice. Why are you echoing? So, Joel is yes. Echo, Hake. Pay attention. How about now? With delay this time. We're just fixing stuff. Lin Yen Chin says, gave a super chat. Says, Joel, fix the audio. Get Billy to do the voodoo that he do. Please read my soup for chats when they seem taught for, Hake. Man, I'm sorry, Lin Yen Chin. I'm probably butchering your comment. Delayed echo. Good, much better, good now. No, go back to the robot. You good. Fixed. Hake for about 20 minutes, but now it's good. Dang, I was echoing this whole time. Hake, you're not white. You're a robot. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Sion. Thank you. Biblical question for you. Who said Tom like a mug? Tyrone or Greg? It was Greg. Greg said, you Tom like a mug. And Gerald gave a super chat, but retracted the message. Appreciate that, Gerald. So, and also let me read a few of these. Patrice O'Neill Groiper says, here's $1 for the MIC fund, M-I-C fund, Mike fund. Must be having issues. Appreciate that. Patrice O'Neill Groiper also says, hot microphone smell. Hot computer smell says, the lesbian jokes were hilarious. Thank you. And Hot computer smell says, there's a huge echo on D Live. YouTube is fine, but that was old. That's an old D Live chat. Appreciate that. And by the way, thank you to, I saw Shaggy Boy subscribed monthly. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That's cool. So it's fixed. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I am going to get to your calls. But what do you guys think of Trump? Just asking the question. I saw some Drudge headlines, right? Nervous Republicans see the president sinking and taking the Senate with him. Pfft, I don't see it that way. Trump is a fighter. He's a man for the job, and he's a man for this next 2020 campaign. I don't see him losing because look how dumb the Democrats and evil they are, and Trump is not afraid to call them out for it. So that's great. And I wish that Joe Biden would pick, what's her name? Stacey Abrams. She's kind of like chunky, but she's not a lesbian to my knowledge. She wants Joe Biden to consider him for running mate. And Jake Tapper tells her to stay healthy. Can you Skype computer a picture of her just for fun? He tells her to stay healthy. What do you mean stay healthy? Shouldn't it be get healthy? I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm mean. If not, Joelle is fine. You don't have to do it. You guys know what she looks like. And by the way, Pelosi went on about Trump and disinfectant. And, oh, there she is. Yeah, that's Stacey Abrams. Dang. And then show Nancy Pelosi next. Because Nancy Pelosi went on about Trump referring to, like, disinfectant. And what did Nancy Pelosi do? She said something to the effect of, that's how people get embalmed. That's how people get embalmed. You use disinfectant. And if you look at like the recent pictures of her, even worse than like the pictures of her from last year or whatever, which is even worse than the pictures from 8 years ago, she looks like she's been embalmed. Like she's had, I don't know if it's plastic surgery or that stuff that kills your nerves or what, but she doesn't look right. And so she doesn't know what she's talking about. Look at that face. Can we throw away the hashtag #MeToo movement now and Time's Up? Get rid of Time's Up and Me Too. I'm loving the fact that Joe Biden's accuser is not getting attention from the liberal media. I love it because neither she should nor any of the other hashtag #MeToo people should have gotten any attention. The thing that went on with them was between them and whatever happened. But they want to bring down the public opinion, gather an army. It's like the mama gathers a whole army against the man, right? A whole brings all the children onto her side. Well, that's how I see these hashtag #MeToo accusers. They try to get the liberal media, which is all too willing to go against the man. And so there was this. So Biden's accuser, according to Drudge, Biden got accused of from way back in the 90s by this woman who's changed her name or something. I don't know. She's a Democrat, was working for Biden, so she's not right mentally. She claims that he so-called did something to her, right? Wrong. That was wrong. And nobody's really paying attention to it, but now she says that her mother called into Larry King Live in 1993 for advice after the alleged sex assault. Why does she have her mother involved in this? Reminds me of Bill Cosby's. Wasn't Bill Cosby's accuser the lesbian? Skinny lesbian. Fit. A tennis player, I think. But wasn't Bill Cosby's accuser? Her mother got involved. Mess. Get out of the way, meddling mothers, right? So I'm happy that the liberal media is not paying attention to this. And now they are being kind of forced to, because I guess CNN or somebody took this episode down from Google Play or something like that. Because I guess they had their archives from 1993 available on Google Play, and somebody said, hey, this is the accuser's mother calling into Larry King Live. So they took it down. Typical censoring liberals, right? Don't want any mess to get out about their guy who's going to be running against Trump for president and losing. So they should get rid of hashtag #MeToo and hashtag Time's Up, which was started by a black woman, about women in the workplace being discriminated against or something dumb. So it's good. It's good that it's hypocrisy that they treated Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, so-called justice, right? He's kind of a rhino. Brett Kavanaugh, like, oh, he probably raped this woman when she was in high school. Christine Blasey Ford, who's a liberal professor now and a Hillary supporter and a hashtag #MeToo supporter and all that, Women's March supporter, I think. think about the difference between how they treated Brett Kavanaugh. It was all over the news, but I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Last question, I think. Is Kim Jong Un alive? I have to address this before I get back to the calls. Hang tight, guys. I saw this headline, but it's a fake headline. Show this meme if you can, Joel. I don't know if it'll mess things up. But if you guys may have seen this in the thing, in the intro music today. Kim Jong Un dead, according to New York Times, Saturday, April 25th, 2020. This is a fake headline, all right? Fake. This is just a meme. It's funny. Austere golf enthusiast, rocket scientist, beloved by his people, dead at only 36. Malpractice suspected as Kim was in phenomenal physical shape. Hero of the Korean people, Kim died this week after a botched surgery. An international manhunt has now begun to find and interrogate the missing heart surgeon, pictured. But it's funny to me because they put austere golf enthusiast because Washington Post referred to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, as austere religious scholar. And austere means harsh, ascetic, doing without the fancy things in life, right? And harsh, too, like I said. But that's Kim Jong Un. There's been rumors going on for a few days now, several days maybe. CNN started spreading the rumor that he was brain dead, and then they deleted it. That Katie Tur, is it Katie Tur? The daughter of Zoe Tur, who's the man who changed into a female, and he threatened that Jewish young guy that the alt-right hates and a lot of conservatives hate, but he's conservative himself. Ben Shapiro. He threatened Ben Shapiro, the transgender guy. But she tweeted and then deleted. His daughter works for CBS or CNN. I think CNN, but I can't remember. Maybe CBS. She tweeted and then deleted that he was brain dead. Kim Jong Un. That's the leader of North Korea, and he's young. I guess he's 36. Kind of fat. Not a lesbian, though. But the focus is shifting to his powerful sister. Oh, my gosh. And she looks evil. I don't have a picture of her. Kim Yo-jong. But she looks evil. She looks like one of those zombie girls in those Japanese movies. Not that I watch a lot of those, but she looks like she's evil. But there's a big mystery. Is he sick? Is he in a vegetative state? Japanese social media claims that she is. No, that he is. Click on that one on the middle, all the way towards the right, almost.
Here?
Yeah. No, in the middle. Yeah, there. One of those. Yeah, look at that. Or the one next to that. Yeah, that one. Look at her. You don't trust that girl? She's not fat, though, like the other dude. But what a mess. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It would be funny if CNN got that scoop and they were right that he's brain dead. But they're not to be trusted, so nobody trusts them. Nobody believes CNN. It's funny. Anyways, let me get to my favorite caller, Maze, out of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, what's up?
Hello, James.
Hey.
Yeah, you were saying that when somebody just calling somebody a bitch, he wasn't the first person that used that. That was Newt Gingrich.
You can't say that.
Nasty looking self. Newt Gingrich used that against Hillary. Remember when he called her a bitch with his nasty looking self?
I did not know that. That's funny.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
You know, Newt Gingrich, I heard. Patrice O'Neill Groiper gave a diamond. He said, no, that's Kathy Zhu. She's
so
like
anyway,
a famous model.
He was the one that he used it he was a congressperson at the time. And see, tell Hogg, I'm sorry he might not be eating hog for a while because it might be going out of the market. And next time he's on talking, give us some information where we can learn and stop reading about tea and maize.
You're talking about Blazing Hogs? Blazing Hogs is a good guy. Do you like him?
Good for him. Yeah. I like people that use their brain. Is it like...
he uses his brain.
Really? You really use... I haven't heard it.
Oh.
Educate somebody with something, because a lot of them missed the classroom. They were in it, but they missed it. Out of a lot of this. Now, I had something to ask you, James.
Okay.
Now, when these people doing these protests, why they got to carry weapons? Come on, the Second Amendment, right? What does that got to do with what they're protesting?
Because they're grown.
What?
Because they're grown.
And then you talked about the
they have the right to.
Flag. You talked about the rebel flag is two.
Yeah, the rebel flag.
What?
The rebel flag. Do you support the rebel flag?
There's two.
I meant the Confederate battle flag. The battle flag.
I don't believe in neither one of them.
But do you support them?
For those that want to carry them, I'm happy that they do, so I can stay away from them.
Nice.
Because I know where their mind goes.
No, their mind is very nice. Those are very fine people.
Well, if you say so, that's your opinion.
Thank
and
you.
Is mine. That's why people have their opinions and not facts.
No, it's a fact that they're very fine people.
Well, that's in my opinion, they're not very fine people to me. So if they carry them, I know when they have them on the back of their truck, it's like that. He missed the classroom. I'll stay from behind him, and I won't be in front of him because he might just do something stupid.
No,
that's the way I see it.
Generally, those people won't do that.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm right.
So that's why a man with a shirt on Second Amendment. I'm saying, well, what about all the other amendments? You don't abide by those, but you got to abide by the second one. But forget
the second one is the most important one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, all the other ones don't represent anything.
Well, the First Amendment's important. You need to have the spirit of the freedom of speech where you speak up and have no fear.
But when you speak up and people don't like it, then what? They want to call you all kind of names and everything else when people tell you the truth.
Yep.
And God would not approve of some of the things that you do. That's where your amendment be, is his law, not no amendments some man did.
Interesting.
That's the way it goes. But anyway, you gave me an answer to I just don't understand it. It looks just as crazy to me to see somebody protesting something, but they got to have their guns. Why don't they have a Gatling gun back in the day that they did since they own their Second Amendment with it? Why don't they have the same thing they had back in those days?
Maybe too heavy.
Really?
Yeah, because times change, but the common sense doesn't change. You have the right to keep and bear arms.
The haters don't.
Not this kind of bear arms, but carry and own weapons, which is violated.
The North and the South got into it, and the South got beat up, and they still walking around like they won something. Really?
Well, they're winners. They're better people than the North.
Really? That's why those storms are going through the South now, like they're doing. Nature.
Who knows? Who knows?
And the only time I don't see them with a gun is when nature comes through and blows stuff away. All you see them is looking at what they did have and what they don't have now.
Do you love the Southerners, Maze?
Excuse me?
Do you love the Southerners?
Do I love Southern? I love the Southern, the North, and the East and the West. I love everybody, all people. That's why I communicate with them. You can't learn from something that you're afraid of. I keep telling you that.
Asmodor says, with a diamond, you don't abide by amendments. They protect you.
Really?
They're supposed to.
Freedom of speech.
Those amendments. Hey, Mace, those amendments aren't what gives you the right to bear arms. It's meant to protect the right to bear arms.
Meant to protect
God gave you the right to bear arms.
It meant for you to bear your arms inside your house, not come outside your house trying
to that's a lie.
The world with
You're lying. Lying, Mace.
What did you say, James?
And Asmodor says the South actually killed more Northern soldiers. So they beat up the North pretty bad, Mace.
They might have beat them up real bad, but they got whooped real bad.
No, it wasn't about that.
They're still angry about it. Was brothers.
I don't think it was about that, Mace.
Because families fighting against families.
You think about it. All these dumb people accusing that great Confederate soldier, General Lee. They accuse him of the nastiest things. The people nowadays who actually they themselves are the ones who are the traitors of America. They accuse him of supposedly betraying the country. No. If he was a traitor to the country, why didn't they execute him? They didn't. In your face, Mace.
That's what I'm saying. That you call him a Yankee.
So what you're claiming has nothing to do with the North and the South. The North and the South, that was a battle between gentlemen, and it had nothing to do with you.
It was a battle between relatives.
White gentlemen.
That's right.
It did not concern you.
You got that right.
All right, Mace.
You don't concern me. That's what you're doing now. Y'all fighting against each other. You call us a Republican and a Democrat. But y'all two are the same. I keep trying to tell you that.
You try to tell me that, but that's what all blacks say.
Take a look at it. Take a look at it.
Not all.
And then this mess about this
I gotta go, Mace.
Okay, about the virus. What do you think about it? What people are dumb enough to go try to take this stuff?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I say that, Mr. Classroom.
They're silly. They lack common sense if they're going to take
That's not
that stuff.
common sense. What?
Lee fought
They
for
do everything
Virginia.
else he tell them to do.
Mace. I mean, I know that you didn't say this about Lee, at least not this time. General Lee fought for Virginia. He was not a traitor because he was
Good for
loyal.
General Lee.
Back
And a whole lot of
then,
people.
back
It's
then,
good for-
state loyalty meant
That's
something.
what I'm saying, James, is they call them Yankees, and they still trying to walk around with a war that they did not win in the South, and they're still having a fight, white Caucasian and Caucasian.
Is a battle
Democrat and
between good and
Republican,
evil,
and we're
Mace.
just sitting back watching
There were
and
very
listening.
fine people on
History.
both sides,
You think
and there were
anybody
evil
doing something
people
evil is fine.
on both
You
sides.
think anybody
Thank you,
doing
Maze.
something evil is
I
fine.
gotta go. Take care.
Yeah, you have a good one.
You too. Make sure you catch church. You need it. Russ and Robert, I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. Maze was just way too interesting. But, oh my gosh, I need to open the treasure chest on DLive. Guys, head over to dlive.tv/The Hake Report. And I'm adding 50 things. And so open the chest. No chest, move along, says Garand Bear. And I pronounce his name Garand Bear because that's how he pronounces it. It's out of respect. But I learned that it's pronounced the M1 Garand because it was made by a guy named John C. Garand. So out of respect, I call him Garand, but he made the M1 Grand. Anyways, Azador gave a Ninja Guinea. Thank you, man. He says, the right to self-determination was at stake. People who say you can't secede are against freedom. Very true. All right, guys, I'm opening the treasure chest. It's a late chest. Let's go, says Super Dave. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Joel. Nice. All right, so we're going to see you in church with Jesse Lee Peterson in less than an hour, as long as we are on time. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. Watch Jesse Lee Peterson on dlive.tv/Jesse Lee Peterson. And make sure you're subscribed to Bond Rebuilding the Man YouTube channel. It's great. And also like Bond Rebuilding the Man Facebook page. Once again, just reminding you. Congratulations to Bubs Love. Right on. Asmodor, Hot Computer Smell, Army Ann, Super Dave. And thank you guys. Noah's Ark, Kansas. Zona, what is he saying? What does that say? Zona Bologna? I got to read you guys the top contributors, and then we'll be done, Joel, I promise. Thank you to Patrice O'Neill Groiper, as always, Hot Computer Smell. Perstimi, CCN, Uncle Ted 8, Army Ann, and Rick91307. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, guys. I think that's the one who got banned on Discord. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care.